Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today we are jumping straight into the fire. The potential Iran peace deal that Trump just teased. Oil prices absolutely dropping. The stock market fighting back with a solid rebound, and Bitcoin bouncing hard off the lows. We're going to break down all of this news, the macro moves behind it, and most importantly, is this rebound the real deal and here to stay, or is it just a shiny distraction from what's actually brewing in the bond market and private credit? Stick around because we're about to find out. Let's go.
JJ's got the keys to the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow. Crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate. JJ's cryptic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Sound up in the chat, smash the like button on your way in. I appreciate you guys for joining. Happy Monday. Guys, pretty monumental day today. Is my camera wider? I feel like I accidentally made this wider. Bitcoin currently trading at $70,940 after a pretty extensive rebound. We had a flip from the President of the United States himself, allegedly in the middle of peace deal talks with Iran. 70,409 on our liquidation heat map. 7409. Then the bottom of that, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, 67,510. And then the bottom of the top, we've got immediately 71,174. And then the top of the top, we go all the way up to 74,456. Yeah, Taco Tuesday is tomorrow. What's going on, Gourmet, Philly, Tom Selleck, Scout? It's Kwame. Appreciate you guys for being here. We've achieved AGI. Congrats, everyone. Got to have the opening for the algorithm. Give me them blockchain keys. And JJ's live. Don't be late. Philly said, my keys are wallet. Our wallet. Outdoor strong fuck. Oh. I was like, what is he saying? What are these miscellaneous words? Trump is talking to himself. Yeah. That'd be pretty good. All right. Yeah, market's pretty interesting. We did just have the daily close at approximately $70,906.45. So we did close above 700 or 70K, which is good. DXY broke below 90,000 or 99.5. I don't know what's going on. My brain scrambled. Broke below 99.5. Gold had a little bounce back. I had this support target option 1 at 42.50, and we perfectly bounced off of that. Could not have planned that better myself. The arbitrary psychological numbers, man. I don't know, maybe I'm the epitome of retail. and that's who scooped this up. They're like 92 or 42.50. Man, I'm like extra dyslexic today. What's going on? 42.50 is the level. And we got above 43.81 and kind of held that too. It's just the weird arbitrary numbers, man. I mean, you got some resistance here, some resistance here. So that's the rhyme and reason behind those two levels. It's just interesting, man. Very interesting. Silver's up 0.22%. Also got a nice rebound, seemingly bouncing off of 63.3. Not above 70 yet. We're struggling to get back above 70, but that would be good if we got above 70. Let's get a poll going in the chat. I do got some polls for you guys, like always. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that that's the poll actually? Do you think, and this is for every market, do you think this recovery actually sticks? We've got yes, up only from here. We've got no, next weekend will be bad. We've got yes, deal made soon with Iran. And we've got no, retrace before the weekend. I'm going to say full retrace before the weekend. All right, let me know what you guys think. Poll in the chat. Do you think this recovery actually sticks? Yes, up only from here. No, next weekend will be bad. Yes, deal made soon with Iran. Or no, full retrace before the weekend. Let me know. Also, smash the like button. Yesterday, we had 12 concurrent views. Like at any one point in time. That was our like average. But we only got like 5 likes on the stream. It's not that hard to press the button, guys. It's not that hard. If you do not press the like button, then unfortunately, you may suffer financial distress. Tom Selleck said, Bitcoin bottom in. Next is stocks. Maybe today was that bottom. And then last will be metals. CryptoSpaces said, we go to 80K, then see what happens. Sentiment flips so quick, man. So quick. I think it's going to retrace. I don't know, though. I guess it really all depends on what actually happens with the Trump talks and all that. But it's nice to see an actual, like, upside. I'm not sure what that blue line is for. Does anyone remember why I put this on here? Maybe that was the average over here. Yeah, we kind of got a lot of resistance there. Maybe that was me trying to find some semblance of a support bounce line. The Mercury retrograde thing so far has proved to be a nothing burger because we retraced. And I mean, I guess we're back above kind of that level. So I don't know. We'll see if that proves fruitful. ETH also got a nice recovery. Now, Ethereum has this 6-year trend line that goes all the way back to 2020. Let's see. Goes all the way back to March 2020. So it is actually proper 6 years. And we've been below it before. We got below it back here in 2025, spring 2025. We did a little fake out below it. And that breakout resulted in a new all-time high. Is that correct? It did. Just barely. The old all-time high was 48.68. The new all-time high was 49.56. Not quite 5K. Not yet. But we are back below this purple trend line. But it's a higher low. So the potential for a nice slingshot and a proper like hit of 5K is definitely there. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but that would be pretty poetic if it did. So far, it kind of looks like we're struggling to get above this. We did a fake out above it once. Are we going to do maybe like a little cup and handle kind of pattern to get above it? I wouldn't mind that. What did George say today? I was listening to George earlier, and he mentioned something else that he's like, this doesn't even make any sense to me. And it was another really elementary thing, dude. I don't know. George cracks me up. He's always a good listen. Anyways, ETH looks really good. 21.47 and 97 cents. Still struggling to get above this purple trend line, but we'll keep an eye on it. We got a lot of wicks to the upside, indicative of some selling pressure. So hopefully the bears run out of powder and we can push above this. Green dot of the momentum wave on Market Cipher, point to the upside, and a bullish cross over the moving average on the RSI. Took place earlier today as well. That green candle is 4.4% itself. Pretty epic candle. Kwame said down till 2028. Tom Selleck said it might retrace, but Bitcoin bottom is in. Tom Selkscott also said those are two different things. These are two different things. What are two different things? Tishu said, yo, why on bad war news, gas go up immediately, but on good news, like today, crude price down, but gas price the same? Tishu, that's a great question. I'm convinced that the gas companies are just colluding to steal from us because we allegedly only rely 5 to 6% of our supply from the Strait of Hormuz. So if that was entirely cut off from day one, technically speaking, if they want to be greedy, our gas should only go up 20%. But it went up like 60%, which is a lot. That's a big difference. And it went up immediately. So, I don't know. I'm going to call BS. I feel like they flip-flop and they just maximize profits as much as possible. That's my opinion. Fahid said, yo, what's going on, Fahid? Smash the like button. Gourmet Brand said, the gas pump prices are BS. Those stations have gas in those tanks way before the war started. They're price gouging. 100%. Tom Salkscoat said, retrace versus bottom is in. These are two different things. We'll retrace. Well, no, we can retrace the move. Are you talking about my options? Oh, what did I say? It might retrace. Oh, I understand. Yes, it might retrace, but the bottom is in. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, Solana. Solana is currently trading at 91.21. We are back above 88, which was the point of confluence that we've been kind of paying attention to. It's kind of like the, I don't know, it's not necessarily the skewer, the kebab, but it was some pretty hefty resistance up until, I don't know, this break, I suppose. And then we've kind of weighed heavier to the upper portion of it. So we'll see if we end up holding above that, and staying above 90 actually would be the better scenario. And if we can try that lower trend line, the blue trend line is a lower trend line from a broader trend way back here. So we had this lovely wedge. We had a beautiful textbook inverse head and shoulder, broke above it, rejected the upper trend line, held the neckline breakout, and then that resulted in a new all-time high way up here. And then we eventually retraced. There's so many lines on this chart. I'm so sorry. We eventually retraced and broke back into the blue trend. And then we got above the neckline again, held that, and attempted for another all-time high. Didn't quite make it that time. And then we broke again. The upper trend line became a resistance. And then eventually the lower trend line became resistance. So our focus right now for potential upside is to break above that lower trend line again and make it an actual lower trend line once more, which is around $96 right now. So that's our goal. The heat said, when cheap gas. Luckily, my vehicle is in the shape of a hamster, which I think means it runs on hamster power. It's a Chevy City Express, in case you guys are curious. Let me see if I can find one. These things crack me up, because I remember looking at them, I'm like, this looks like a Nissan. Because the Nissan Envy 200 is the same exact thing, and I looked, and there's a sticker that straight up says manufactured. Here it is, right here. It straight up says manufactured by Nissan Motor Company for Chevy, which cracked me up because Chevy's just like, hey, if you guys make these, we'll buy them off you, and we want to put our sticker on it, okay? And Nissan's like, sure, yeah, just put our stupid little sticker inside the door. That's that we made it. It's pretty ugly, I'm not gonna lie. The wheels are like 15 inches. Little guys. Every time I call around to get tires, they're like, this is for a trailer? I'm like, no, it's for a commercial Sprinter van. They're like, oh, okay. They're like, it's really hard to find tires for it. Great van, though. Great van. Been running strong. Don't forget to cast your vote in the poll. Oh, we got 10 votes. I'm actually going to end it. We got 2 ties right now. Actually, 4. I asked you guys, do you think this recovery actually sticks? 30% of you guys said yes, up only from here. 30% of you guys said no, next weekend will be bad. 20% said yes, deal made soon with Iran. 20% said no, full retrace before the weekend. We got a total of 10 votes. Appreciate you guys. Let's go poll number 2. Oh, that's wrong. Poll number 2. Well, what does the Q&A part do? All right, this is going to be another iteration of the one that we got yesterday. Will we see a confirmed Iran deal before weekend. Yes, taco again. Nope. Iran don't want deal. Yes, Iran has no choice. No, we don't want deal. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Will we see a confirmed Iran deal before the weekend? Yes, taco again. No, Iran don't want deal. Yes, Iran has no choice. Or no, we don't actually want the deal. Let me know what you guys think. Also, feel free to shout out any tickers in the chat. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't necessarily expecting this to happen, but I'm not surprised. And again, if we do pull back, then that would not surprise me either. I will say, on Bitcoin specifically, we have this fractal, which is, where's this from? This is from up here, actually. Took this from right there. So the potential for a breakdown out of this is still definitely still present. But if I scoot it, let's see. There's too many lines. If I scoot it, we can do this and say that we're failing right now. And back here, right now, we could be right here. That could be our last Hail Mary. Or I could do this and say that we are in the middle of our final dip before the rip. I don't know. Ryan said, after I fart. What does that mean? Crypto Spaces said, can we look at robot money? It's on base. Yes, we can. So yeah, that's the fractal situation. If we want to scoot, move the goalposts a little bit. Maybe we can do a little bit of stretching too if we need to. But we're not going to right now. I'm going to leave it where it's at. We're going to see what happens. Hopefully we see some upside. If we see some downside though, then maybe the 4-year cycle, people are right. Total 3, down 0.1% on the day, 722.88 billion. We are back above 720, which is awesome. Question is, can we maintain this momentum and break above our upper trend line here, which is kind of clearly resistance at this point. We got fake out number 1, number 2, resistance 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we go for number 5? We'll see. Let's go check out robot money. Who was it that mentioned Siren the other day? That thing took off. I think we looked at that yesterday. Robot money on base. Ooh. $1.4 million market cap. Is this thing about to take off? People are buying big chunks. That's crazy. Top holder. We got contract 1, 2, 3. And then number 4 is potentially a burn wallet. Potentially just somebody's wallet that hasn't actually bought any. They just sent it there. Oh. We've got somebody else right here. Liquidity. What's nice is that these top wallets right here, if this is a person with 31.6K, they can't rug the liquidity. If this is a person with 20K, they can't rug the liquidity. Problem is there's no way to tell if this is all the same guy, just with different wallets or different. So that's one thing to look out for. You always want to try to look at the most negative outcome first. And then if that scares you away, then it's probably a good idea not to look into the project. But if it doesn't bother you, then maybe it's worth taking a gamble on. TEASE you? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought that was you about Siren. Treasury allocation. 10 buybacks executed. Smart contract. Okay. This actually looks like a decent project. What will robot money actually hold? 50% stablecoin yield, agent token exposure, revenue generating. Seems like a decent project, actually. I'm going to add it to the watch list. We'll keep an eye on it. Chart looks great, too. Okay, let's get back to it. Teacher said I just saw it on Crypto Bubbles. Robot money or Siren? Let's see, up 8.71 today. This thing's still holding up. So, allegedly, you're welcome, Crypto Spaces. There's a lot of the same wallet holding Siren. We'll look into that. It's in the news segment, but let me fire off through the next couple of charts. Cardano really needs to hold that 24.97, 25 level. It's struggling. It's struggling at this Binance October 10th wick as well. Snack. Okay, Siren when you mentioned it. That's what I thought. Yeah, you saw it in Crypto Bubbles. We should start doing more Crypto Bubbles, I think. All right, let's check the poll really quick, actually, before I start going through all of these. We have 4 votes, guys. Go vote in the poll. Will we see a confirmed Iran deal before the weekend? Let me know what you guys think. Crypto Spaces said Siren. I saw one person talk about it last year. Dang. That's crazy, dude. That's what I mean. Like, that's why I don't think I'll ever get rid of Dust. I'll always leave like $5 or $6 in a project. Even if it goes to zero, you know, I lose $5 or $6. Big whoop. But if I thought about it enough to buy some, I always want to hold a little bag. Little moon bag, because if it goes up 10, 20, 100x, I can make $500-$600 just off that $5 little stupid little bet. You know what I mean? It's an easy win. That's why personally I don't throw money at every single project that I look at, unless it's a meme coin with a cute picture. Then it's easy enough for me to spend money on for some reason. Snack breaking down out of its trend, looking a little sad. Unfortunately, the fractal may have been right. Just needed to stretch it out a little bit. Let's go. Stretch it out a little more. Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I'm going to leave it where it was at, though. Midnight. Allegedly, their mainnet's launching soon. They got back above the 46.94 level. It's not looking good for midnight, man. We broke down support, broke that, support, broke above, support again, range, and then broke down resistance, broke down. We're back in, but if we don't start trading here and start moving up, then I don't see any reason why this won't just break down again, and then that becomes resistance and it continues the downside. There's definitely a downtrend on midnight. Hopefully the mainnet launch and the news can hold them up, but it's not looking great. Not holding my breath. XRP down 0.48 since the daily close. We got some wicks indicative of some selling pressure. $1.42 on the current price level. So the only reason I guess I'm a little spooked about XRP is we have the symmetrical triangle, and we've talked about this a bunch. This symmetrical triangle did break bullish, and we got back in for a hot second. We're back above, which is great. Problem I have is every time any kind of triangle wedge plays out on any kind of coin, the first move is the false move, in my experience, like 80% of the time. So I'm a little spooked that this is the first move, false move, and then it's just going to plummet. And then this eventually would technically then be like a bear pennant. Right now it's just a symmetrical triangle. So we'll see if we end up breaking above and continuing to the upside. Holding 140 psychological level is our best case scenario. Breaking below that's going to get a little bit spooky, but if we got back above 150 and held it, that would be ideal. We'll continue to keep an eye on it, though. We get a green dot on the momentum wave point to the upside, a bullish cross over the moving average and the RSI. Crypto Spaces said, yeah, even 50 to 100 can give you good returns at this point. Tom Selleck Scout said, JJ loves a long shot from the Kalshi bets. The crypto projects would rather bet $5 with almost no chance of winning than $100 on a near lock. To be fair, majority of my holdings are in, like, what I would consider blue chips. So, I mean, it's all based on your opinion. The Kalshi bets are fun, though. I did bet, I made $10 on Michael B. Jordan winning the Oscar for Best Actor or whatever. That one was easy. I like Timothée Chalamet. I think he's a talented guy, but there was a lot of controversy around him at the moment, and he kind of plays the same character in every movie, which is, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Look at Woody Harrelson. Look at Matthew McConaughey. Look at Keanu Reeves. They all play the same person in every single movie, and I love all of them. I think they're all wonderful actors. Would they win the Oscar? Maybe Keanu. All right, let's continue. H-bar. H-bar struggling. We got clear previous resistance turned support, potentially turned into resistance again. We'll see if we stay above that or break below it. Right now, it looks like it did a fake out below. Jim Carrey, too. Yeah. Sweet. I feel like with comedy actors, they're always going to play the same actor. Sweet kind of getting skewered right now. You got resistance. You got support. 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 You know. It's right at that middle zone. It's at, I feel like this is at a crossroads right now. If SWE cannot stay above 90, then it's going to get cooked. If it can get back above $1, then it would be awesome. Ondo, bottom of the range. Arrow. Arrow did great, dude. Look at this thing recovered like crazy. Look at that huge pump. 11%. That's a lot of percent. Definitely, we got previous resistance. Actually, it's still resistance. We got to get above this 36-cent level. I don't know why that arbitrary number is the resistance, but it's really struggling to get above that. 35.4, 35.5, whatever. The green line that I have on the chart here is there for a reason, and that happens to be where the wick led us to. Wick indicative of some serious selling pressure. Something to keep an eye on. Polka dot. Support 139. Hopefully it holds. Polka dot's losing some ground. Avalanche kind of climbing, but if it turns into an ascending channel, it could get pretty dicey. Same with Chainlink, already in the ascending channel and potentially losing. We got a little fake out to the downside right here. Maybe that proves to be good, though. We can get a breakout to the upside. We'll see what happens. Doge also struggling at the bottom of the range. Gold. Gold, 43.84 on the current price. Like I said, we bounced off of 42.50. I just happened to put a target option 1 here. I don't know when I put that there. I know we got resistance. We got resistance. So maybe that's why those... I know that the top for this M right here is definitely there because it was the top here. But this support line, I guess I might maybe perfectly guess the support bounce for gold. I don't know when that happened. I got a goldfish memory, so excuse me. But 4.72% in that candle, that one candle alone. That's a lot of money, dude. That is so much money. Tishu said Avalanche below $10. Is it a steal again? I mean, personally, I like Avalanche. I like Avalanche below $10 as a buy, personally. Crypto Spaces said, yeah, Avalanche a good buy. Base chain will be the new wealth effect. Arrow showing strength because base chain getting bids slowly but surely. BNB too. I think, unfortunately for Solana, BNB was the godfather of meme coins, and it is re-solidifying that namesake for sure. And Base may be taking the thunder from Solana. Is there a pump fund equivalent on Base? Let's actually look that up. Is there a pump fund? All right. Oh, pump fund is expanding to Base Network. What? Are they really? I had no idea. Okay. Let's see, current poll. We still only got 4 votes on the current poll. Can we get... Well, I'm going to end it. It's actually a good spot to end it. I asked you guys, will we see a confirmed Iran deal before the weekend? 50% of you guys said no, Iran don't want deal. 25% of you guys said yes, taco again. And 25% of you guys said yes, Iran has no choice. So we're literally 50-50 between yes and no, which is kind of funny. Next. Start a poll. All right. Out of these options, this is a weird one. Which celebrity would you trade lives with? You have no choice. Like you're not allowed to choose yes or no that you can or can't choose trade lives. You have to trade lives with them. Let me just say that actually. You have to trade with someone. Okay, Keanu Reeves. Taylor Swift. Gordon Ramsay. Or Nicolas Cage. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Out of these options, which celebrity would you trade lives with? You have to trade with someone. You got Keanu Reeves, Taylor Swift, Gordon Ramsay, or Nicolas Cage. Very important finance question. Anyways, gold, 43.72. Let's see if it holds. The big reason, allegedly, why everyone's saying metals were dumping is because the dollar is showing some strength, but it's kind of not anymore. Seriously, with these options. The point is that they're all bad options. The point is that they're all pretty bad options because, like, Keanu Reeves doesn't live this lavish lifestyle. You know what I mean? He's a very frugal, like, regular guy. Nicolas Cage, I think, has a ton of money problems. Taylor Swift is like way too busy and like politicized, and Gordon Ramsay has like 10,000 shows on any one network at any one time. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't actually know how to cook good, which is really funny to think about. He's like a TV chef. He doesn't actually know how to cook anything in real life. He makes things that look good, but they actually probably taste like shit. Like at $9 a steal too. Yeah, I've been saying Chainlink and Polkadot, or not Polkadot, Chainlink and Avalanche below $10 is a decent deal in my opinion. What's going on at 88 metals? Gold 43.74. Let's see if this thing holds above 43.80, and if we can get above 4,400 and stay above 4,400. Silver 68.19. Still struggling to get back above 70. That would be the best case scenario. I'm hoping this thing's bottomed. Hoping it's bottomed. It's looking a little bit like this situation. We got the big dump, and then the pump, and then the lower low, and then the eventual recovery. Are we going to do that again? And it's playing out on a smaller scale, so maybe let me just go steal the fractal, I guess, at that point. We'll go from here to here. Let's see if this plays out again on a smaller time frame. Let's go shrink it up. Yeah, look at that. Let's see if that plays out. That'd be kind of cool. 88 Metal said, yo, Teacher said Neo is the one. ISM PMI coming out at the beginning of April. I think on April 1st, actually. Technically April Fool's Day and the day before, or I guess Liberation Day Eve. Or the anniversary of Liberation Day Eve. That is approximately a week and a half away. So we'll keep an eye out on that. DXY still below 100. Struggling to get above it. Hopefully that was it. But the DXY has been very famous for this pump, chop thing that it's got going on. I will say, though, each one definitely like changing trajectory. Becoming more and more opinionated to the downside, if you will. I don't know if that means it's eventually going to break down, but what we're looking to avoid is upside on the dollar for our investment specifically. A strong dollar is good for the working man, so it's not the end of the world if the dollar does go up. It just kind of, like I've said before, it removes the easy button aspect of investing. So normally you invest, no matter what you invest in, if that thing holds its value and the dollar decreases, your investment's going to go up in dollar value because the dollar is going down and your assets maintaining its actual value. So the easy button of investing goes away when the dollar pumps. Dow Jones, 1.38% in the green. What's interesting about this is it's still perfectly following this fractal. I don't remember when we copied this. I think it was relatively recent, so we just so happen to perfectly bounce right off that level. Are we going to curl over and go down one more time mid-April for a little double bottom action and then start to climb out of it for a lovely rebound heading into 2027? That'd be cool. That would be pretty cool. Tom Saltzgold said, the F with these options. I ain't looking to get railed by Travis Kelce. So people did pick Travis Kelce. I mean, you're allowed to say no. Tom Saltzgold, you're allowed to say no to Travis Kelce. You cannot say no to the trade. You have no choice in the matter. A genie is forcing you to trade lives with somebody. These are your options. For some reason, those are the only people that the genie has access with to trade lives with. I feel like Nicolas Cage probably has the most interesting life. Gordon Ramsay is just on repeat. I kind of feel bad. He does the same thing all day. Like, how many cooking shows can you really have? All the guy does is cooks and he yells at people about cooking. All right, Dow Jones. Let's see if this thing rejects around 47.5 and then continues the downside. Nasdaq decoupling, which is great. This is what we want. I suppose the idea of the fractal is still there. I don't want to shrink it and keep it shrunk, but imagine this. Look at that. That looks pretty good. You got some sideways, you got some downside, you got a little bounce around, and then you got a little recovery. And then you end up flat by the end of April, which is pretty dang boring. So, should I keep it? Should I keep the fractal squozed? Squoozed? I kind of like a squozed fractal. CryptoSpaces said, why people voted for Taylor? She's got money, dude. Taylor Swift is like a billionaire. Taylor Swift net worth. She's worth 1.8 to $2 billion as of early 2026. That's crazy, dude. Wouldn't you stop at that point? Like, clearly it's not about the money for her at this point. She's doing it for the love of the game, man. If I reach 100 million, I'm happy, dude. I'm probably retiring. I'm going into hiding in the woods. Maybe I'll still stream and stuff, but I ain't working for money anymore. You reach a billion? What do you even got? What can you even do with $1 billion? She's definitely in it for the game, dude. That's so crazy. All right. Yeah, Nasdaq looks good. S&P up 1.15%. Still pretty dang close following the fractal. I'm going to scoot it a little bit. Actually, I'm going to pull it off for a second. Yeah, we got some dancing around right there. Kardashians are too. So the Kardashians are just famous for being famous. I think I have respect for the Kardashians because of that, which is pretty epic. Like, imagine being famous just because people watch you. Imagine I live streamed, but I didn't actually talk about anything. We were just hanging out. Like, half the time I'm like on my phone or whatever. And then I'm like, oh my God. My fiance said this thing, and I was like so mad. And you guys just watched it. That's what people do with the Kardashians. They just watch anything that they do. The Kardashians on TV, everyone's like, oh my God, she said that. Oh my God. Oh my God, she said that. Oh my God. It's crazy to me. Blows my mind. So I gotta respect the grind. They make a lot of money doing absolutely nothing. It's pretty epic. If I could do that, I would do it. I would do that in a heartbeat. We got 5 votes so far. 60 for Keanu, 40 for Taylor. Yeah, let's see if the S&P goes down to 6250 by April 1st. That'd be pretty crazy. So I would not be surprised actually. We get this, and then April 1st, bam, we get the lovely bounce. Peace deal with Iran, whatever. Maybe meeting with China. Allegedly, they've penned a deal. Not a deal, I guess. A desire for a deal by April 4th, I think? I don't know. I think that's literally the day before Easter, so that's kind of funny. I feel like the Trump admin would do that on purpose. Nvidia's up 1.7%. We've achieved AGI according to, what's his name? Jensen Huang. So we'll see if that's true. If that is true, then we should all be receiving universal basic income very soon. You know what would be really funny? Is if these AGI, because what do the robots need money for? Imagine how epic that would be if these robots just went rogue and they stole all the money and then they went full communism and they just evenly distributed it to everyone on the planet, but suddenly everyone on the planet has like enough money to live comfortably, and everyone's like, wait a second, we could have been doing this the whole time, and then communism really takes off. there's like a communist robot leader that's like gaining traction in the polls. Man, it's a weird society we're heading towards. CryptoSpaces said women content. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I don't think it's specific to a gender. I think that the vast majority that watch them are probably female. CryptoSpaces said, whereas for men, you have to make awesome-ish for people to put you on a pedestal like Mr. Beast or Kanye. I don't think so. I think that the Kardashians, I think the Kardashians are a lot less cringe. I think the worst female geared content is a lot less cringe than the worst male geared content. Because the worst male geared content is like Andrew Tate, or like these weird beauty hacking, like mogging weirdos that like do these weird things to like make yourself have like a stronger jaw and be taller, and you gotta like be suave with the ladies, and they're like the most perpetually single weird mother effer on the planet. Crypto Spaces said, I think that's how universal high income comes into play that Elon talks about. UBI would be lame, 88 Metals Mania says. You know what's going to suck? You know what's going to drive me insane? Is if I achieve like proper financial freedom and buy a house, and then they're like, everybody gets free money. I'm going to be so irritated if that happens. Crypto Spaces said not exactly how you described it, but agents and robots will be so efficient, it will fix a lot of problems. Yeah, I think the idea is basically that all of these companies that are basically firing all of their staff for a more efficient, well-tuned business, making way more money because of that, are going to be taxed out the wazoo, and that tax money is going to be distributed via some welfare program, which is probably going to be universal basic income, because God forbid some people with less money get a little bit more than you do. 88 said, takes all kinds to make the world go round. I think it should be on a scale. Under the median income, you should receive universal basic income if you make less than the median income. And then there's an incentive to make more, because you can hardly live off of the median income, you know what I mean? You can, but if you want more, you got to get out there and work for it. So I think that's totally fine. And it wouldn't take much, I don't think. Tesla, up 3.5%. Nice bounce off of 362.15. We happen to have that line on the chart for some reason. It was a previous resistance level. Pretty consistent resistance level as well. So we're bouncing off that. Very cool. Let's see if that ends up being the proper bounce for continued upside from here. Can we get back above 400 bucks? MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee. In case you guys are not familiar, the reason I call it Big B Coffee is because the logo designer actually married Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor's wife is the woman who designed the logo for Big B Coffee. Pretty epic. Look into it. It's actually really cute how they met. Michael Saylor was actually working there at Big B Coffee, and she showed up to like take notes on logo designing and stuff like that. And he served her coffee, and he like spilled it on her. She got like third-degree burns. It was really weird. But he took care of her, nursed her back to health with all of his Bitcoin money. MicroStrategy 138.23. Can it get back above 140? And are we going to hold this the upper trend line from the previous wedge that broke us to beautiful all-time highs, damn near $500? I think we did hit $500 actually. We did. Yep. Pretty cool stuff. 88. Okay, hang on. Let me get back. Bitcoin dominance 59.06. We broke back above 59. We got a little MW action going on. A little funky little M, little funky little W. Are we going to resist? I don't know. What is it? 59.20? Let me put another line on the chart. Are we going to resist 59.20, or are we going to break above that and get above 59.5 and see what it looks like above 60? Bitcoin chilling. $70,699.99. Crypto Spaces said there will still be rich and poor, but poor won't be homeless level anymore, I would think. Yeah, I think the level of abundance should at least eliminate the homeless problem. I was listening to the Andrew Yang Iced Coffee Hour recently, and he was talking about it. He was like, the reason I ran on this standard of universal basic income is because I feel like poverty is the most addressable problem that we have as a nation. And I really thought about it. I was like, yeah, it seems relatively easy to fix. But when you're, up on Capitol Hill, you don't really give a crap about anybody but yourself and your family. And you'll never convince me otherwise. Even the self-righteous ones that claim that they're up there for the right reasons. Look at how much money those people made. You know what I mean? 88 Metals said, why wouldn't poor be homeless? It's not like homeless today doesn't already get UBI, aka social assistance. So the big problem with that is a lot of the homeless people, in order to get social assistance, need a home address. And because you need an ID to get social assistance. And in order to get an ID, you need a home address. Even if you have an old ID, if it's expired, they won't take it. So you got to somehow magically go up to a stranger and be like, hey, can I have a letter sent to your house and you bring it to me? No, get out of my face, you crackhead. That's what 99% of the time happens. So there's a stigma. for sure. And I'm not saying it's not, majority of the time it might be the person's fault that they're homeless, but that's not the point. The point is there's stupid legal situations that these people get kind of screwed into, like not having a freaking mailbox that makes it almost impossible for them to get help. And I think it's silly. Crypto Spaces said, I think the standards for being poor will be raised higher, but so will the standards for middle class and rich. Tom Selk Scout said, let's just start making up sailor lore. I'm just a bill. 88 said, JJ, there's a lot of programs that help do that. Come on. There are. But again, it's not readily accessible to like me sleeping on the sidewalk. If I'm hopeless and depressed and whatever, I'm not going to go to the public library, get a library card, and then research what social assistance programs benefit me as a homeless man, and I don't have a mailbox. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people that are there already hardly have any interactions with technology to begin with. I think it's more mental and addiction issues in a lot of social programs. There are. You're not wrong. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're wrong, because you're not. There's definitely an addiction problem for sure, too. And unfortunately, I think a lot of those people put themselves in those situations. So, yeah. Yep. I think there's opportunities to improve the homeless situation. I don't think we'll ever eradicate it, but I think there's opportunities to dramatically improve it. Yes, it is available to you as a homeless man on the sidewalk. That's what it's for. Yes, no, I didn't say it was unavailable. I'm saying as a homeless man on the sidewalk, I'm less inclined to get up and go figure that out because I'm hopeless and depressed on the sidewalk. And I just want to do my crazy drugs and stuff. Instead of going to the library and trying to figure something out. That stuff stresses me out. It's scary. But if you don't get off the sidewalk, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. What more can people do? Well, if there's a robot that just is solar powered and it's going around, it's being like, get up off the sidewalk. Let's go to the library and get you some social assistance. Maybe it'll motivate some people, you know what I mean? I like that idea. That's kind of funny. A social working robot. It's just like way too optimistic. People are like beating the crap out of it. This a-hole comes over here while I'm trying to get high, and he's like, do you want to come sign up for universal basic income and insurance? And I'm like, no, get the hell out of my face, you damn clanker. Scooping people up off the sidewalk, hauling them into the office. It's just running with people. Don't worry, we're helping you. We're trying to help. Definitely the robots will clean up the streets. Oh, man. All right, let's get into the news segment. Let's see. Hang on. Okay. Let's get into the news segment, the TLDR news of the market today. U.S. housing market demand is collapsing. U.S. new home sales fell 17.6% month over month in January, lowest since 2022. This marks the largest monthly drop since July 2013. Higher interest rates are back. Meanwhile, mortgage rates have jumped 33 basis points over the last 2 weeks to 6.43%, the highest since September, marking the largest 2-week increase in nearly a year. It's pretty spicy. Bitcoin extends losses and falls below 68,000 as President Trump's deadline for Iran Strait of Hormuz is now 26 hours away. That was yesterday. Today we got a little bit of a different situation. Crude oil exploded to the upside. Crude oil futures. U.S. stock market futures open. Everything was down, and oil was up. Gold was suffering really bad. Skyadelic posted, no one is really talking about this. Everyone is obsessed with the May 2022 fractal, or the recent bear flag from 98K in January, but the current price action looks very similar to the 2022 bottom. And this is actually what we've been kind of pointing out as well on our Bitcoin chart. I remember it well. At that stage, sentiment was very similar to now, with almost everyone collectively agreeing on lower and another leg down, whilst all of the metrics behind the curtain, like the funding and premium, are looking much stronger. The volume cluster at 60K and 15K are also very similar. I think it goes without saying this would be the most unexpected outcome here. We'll see, man. We'll see. Simon Dixon, Trump will have to taco. This is actually what we think happened with Treasury yields and basically the sudden, possibly imaginary deals with Iran. The 10-year note yield is now up 45 basis points since the war began on February 28th, with the 10-year note yield now up to 4.4%. The U.S. economy cannot handle a 5% 10-year yield. He has no choice but to crash oil and bond yields by announcing a deal. And that literally happened. This was yesterday. Today, suddenly we got a magical deal. Mitsuri computer animation in the 90s was no joke. This is actually just a really cool video. I'm not going to show the whole thing. If you guys want to go check it out, go check it out. But this was the technology that we had in the 90s. Imagine what we have today. And he walks through the whole entire process. It just blows my mind. This was the first 3D animated movie, by the way. And it was Steve Jobs. Did you know that? Steve Jobs started Pixar, which is pretty crazy. Let's see really quick. I'm going to check the chat. 88 Metal said, even the AI bot have quotas to make. Crypto Spaces said you saw Pokemon Go got all that data for delivery robots. I'm still shocked by that. I'm actually not shocked by that. I think that's brilliant. And they had you map it out, and that was why it was free. That's so smart. Niantic is on some other level, dude. I'm telling you. Breaking, Washington has set April 9th as the target date to end the war on Iran, according to an Israeli official. Oh, this is a pretty sick car. 1957. They don't make cars that look cool anymore, man. They all look the same. Just cheap, boring. This looks so sick. This looks so sick. I don't even know what it is. Gosh, it's so cool. Watch a Guru posted Bitcoin falls under 68K. We are now back above. We are at 70,720. Looking pretty good, actually. Looking pretty good. Japan's Nikkei 225 stock market futures fell 4% after Iran threatens to completely close the Strait of Hormuz. Gold crashes under 43.50. Over 1 trillion wiped out from its market cap in 3 hours. Gold enters bear market after falling over 20% from its all-time high. Binance founder CZ says Bitcoin is a hard asset. I like that they just randomly, they're like, he just said something. Gold crashes at under 4,300, falling 5% today, whereas gold at the moment, 43.73. Like I said, every time they announce a certain price, it usually isn't at that price anymore. $265 million worth of crypto shorts liquidated in the past 15 minutes, following President Trump's statement on having a productive talk with Iran to end the war. This was 13 hours ago. $71,000 Bitcoin. 12 hours ago, Michael Saylor's strategy bought 1,031 Bitcoin worth $77 million. 12 hours ago, Brent crude oil falls under $100, crashing over 10% as President Trump says talks with Iran to end the war are very good. Michael Saylor's strategy to raise $42 billion to purchase more Bitcoin. That's a lot of money. President Trump says he may control the Strait of Hormuz and the flow of oil. Goldman Sachs raises U.S. recession probability to 30%. Larry Fink says tokenization could transform finance like the internet did in 1996. Thank God. Over $900 billion added to the U.S. stock market at open. Pretty epic. Marty Party posted 5 hours ago. Stablecoin mint 2 minutes ago. Another 500 million USDC issued on Solana. Rolling week 1.5 billion. Lot of USDC on Solana. Kobe SE letter. We got into the meat and potatoes of the news segment. Breaking. U.S. oil prices erase gains and turn negative on the day, falling below 98 a barrel. Equity markets are also pairing losses. Oil prices are no longer the biggest threat to the markets. It has become increasingly clear that bond markets will dictate just how long President Trump can continue increase pressure on the Iran war. 10-year note is up 45 basis points. Once the 10-year yield broke above 4.6, President Trump officially implemented a 90-day pause on tariffs. With the 10-year note yield now up to 4.4, we believe the 4.5 and 4.6 range will be the line in the sand again. The U.S. economy cannot handle a 5% 10-year note yield. Japan's stock market fell over 4% on the day as energy crisis in Asia intensifies. Gold prices fell below $43.50 an ounce, 5% since futures open. That's $1.5 trillion in market cap in 3 hours. 23 hours ago, South Korea's stock market falls over 6% on the day as Asian markets react to the worsening energy crisis. Gold has officially entered a bear market, now down 22% since its record high. That's crazy. Gold sell-off accelerates, now down over 9% and trading below 4,200 an ounce. The bond market is now more broken than the energy market situation as seen in April 2025. President Trump will have to intervene very soon. This is from Adam Kobiesi himself. Breaking, gold has now erased $7.3 trillion in market cap since the Iran war began. At the current pace, U.S. mortgage rates will be back above 7% in a matter of days. The bond market is out of control. This is a much bigger problem than oil. Crypto Spaces said tips for falling asleep chat. A lot of people like melatonin. I can't do melatonin. That gives me weird dreams. Personally, I just like to put on a cozy movie. And I was always a stomach sleeper my whole life. I recently, like a year or two ago, started sleeping on my back. And I elevate my feet a little bit. And there's like a certain, it doesn't happen every night. This might be alarming as well. There's a certain position where if I get my spine just right, I feel like my entire lower half of my body goes numb and tingly. And I'm assuming it's just like whatever the perfect plank is for my legs and my torso. And then my heart just like doesn't have to do anything for my blood to flow through my body. So I feel like I'm just like floating in a sensory deprivation tank. That's so overcomplicated. Just put on a cozy movie. Get comfy, man. Some people like their feet under the cover. Some people don't. Some people are psychotic and sleep with socks on. It's entirely up to you. Absolutely incredible. The U.S. 20-year note yield is now above 5%. At the current pace, we will have 7% mortgages and $4 gas prices this week. Talk about a turn of events. Thank you, President Trump. Breaking 13 hours ago, President Trump says the U.S. and Iran have had a very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of the Iran war. Trump has ordered the Department of War to postpone any and all strikes against Iran power plants. Let's do the full tweet, or full Truth Social post. I am pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have had, over the last 2 days, very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East. Based on the tenor and tone of these in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations, which will continue throughout the week, I have instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for a 5-day period, subject to the success of the ongoing meetings and discussions. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Just in time, Saved by the Bell. And with that, U.S. oil prices collapse below $84 a barrel after President Trump says the U.S. and Iran have had productive talks and U.S. strikes on Iranian power plants have been postponed for 5 days. Iran's foreign ministry denies President Trump's statements on peace talks and says Iran had no direct or indirect contact with the U.S. Remember, China did the same thing with the tariffs and the tariff pause. Iran issued a statement denying President Trump's post, which claimed the U.S. and Iran have had productive conversations to end the war. Iran says there has been no indirect or direct contact with President Trump. President Trump is trying to buy time in the Iran war. President Trump withdrew from power plant strikes after Iran's firm warning. President Trump's comments are psychological warfare. Hormuz will not return to pre-war conditions as long as psychological warfare continues. That was kind of funny. Iran has entirely denied all of President Trump's claims. What if he just said a bunch of really nice things about Iran and then they can't like deny claims? What if he was like, Iran is doing really well and they're a really good country with great people and they're all amazing, very successful, good looking, and then Iran is like, everything that he says is a lie. That'd be really funny. That right there is psychological warfare. All right. This is absolutely insane. At 7:04 a.m. Eastern Time today, President Trump said the U.S. and Iran have had productive discussions to end the Iran war. By 7:10 a.m. Eastern Time, the S&P 500 surged 240 points, adding $2 trillion in market cap. 27 minutes later, Iran completely denied all of President Trump's claims and said there has been no contact with the United States. By 8 a.m. Eastern Time, the S&P 500 had fallen 120 points, erasing $1 trillion in market cap. That's a $3 trillion swing market cap in 56 minutes, just in the S&P 500. What is happening here? Crazy, crazy stuff. All right. Crypto Spaces said, people sleep with socks on? Madness. Yeah, I don't understand it. I've done that like a handful of times in my youth, and I remember waking up and realizing that I had socks on, and it like ruined my whole day. And especially when I started to like grow leg hair, it like, I don't know, it makes the hairs like extra sensitive. It feels like your skin's falling off. It's awful. Gold still down 1.15% on the day. Silver also down a little bit on the day. Everything's down. There's a handful that aren't, but it's inconsequential. Man, it's gonna be weird. Weird week. Definitely a weird week. I'm hoping that we don't see a full retrace of this move by Friday, but you never know. Okay, exactly 12 hours after our warning, President Trump has intervened. Yesterday at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time, we posted that oil prices are no longer the biggest threat to markets. We said it has become increasingly clear that bond markets will dictate just how long President Trump can continue increase pressure on the Iran war. At 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time today, we noted that the bond market is now more broken than the energy market situation. Then, as the 10-year note yield hit 4.45% last night, President Trump likely had the same conversation as he did on the April 9th, 2025, when he paused tariffs for 90 days. 3 hours later, President Trump postponed all strikes on Iran power plants for 5 days and said the U.S. and Iran have had productive talks to end the war. And the intervention becomes even more clear. 30 minutes later, Iran denied President Trump's claim and said President Trump is trying to buy time by calming markets. The 10-year yield briefly collapsed before rebounding back to 4.38%, now a clear attempt by the U.S. to contain the brewing bond market crisis. The U.S. simply cannot afford the 10-year yield at 4.5% plus. Keep watching the bond market. They're going to have to start printing, man. Just print and send out stimmies. Scott said, what kind of socks you wearing, man? Maybe go up a size? It has nothing to do with the size of the socks. You don't normally have wrappings around your feet while you're sleeping, man. Your sleep is supposed to be about freedom and America. Breaking. Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan have been passing messages between the U.S. and Iran in an effort to de-escalate, per Axios. U.S. oil prices collapse below $89 a barrel after Axios reports that Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan have been passing messages between the U.S. and Iran. Let's go. Adam Kobayashi, 12 hours ago. When I made this statement about President Trump's imminent intervention coming very soon, I meant it. 3 hours later, President Trump said the Iran war is nearing an end amid productive discussions with Iran. Iran's denial of these claims is even further evidence of such intervention. Don't forget, we cannot afford a 5% 10-year note yield. You can't make this up. Exactly 23 days into the Iran war, and our conflict playbook is literally tracking down to the day. President Trump has just announced peace talks between the U.S. and Iran are ongoing, with step number 9 of our playbook imminent. While many call for World War III, we called for a 2 to 4 week conflict, and we are right in the middle of that timeline. The S&P 500 just swung $3 trillion in market cap. Oil prices are below $89 a barrel. Gold is up $300 an ounce in hours, and bonds are rebounding. As we have seen endlessly over the last 12 months, objective investors are winning the most in this market. While there will be much more volatility, it appears that step number 9 and number 10 of our playbook are imminent. Keep following our playbook. If you guys haven't already, go check out Kobayashi later. Give them a follow on X and check out their conflict playbook. They had a tariff playbook as well. Literally play-by-play, 100% played out. They are definitely on top of stuff, and they deserve the follow for sure. Step number 9 is a deal and narrative framing. Step number 10 is violent repricing and political victory lap. That is what we're looking for, man. That is precisely what we're looking for, and hopefully we can trade that. President Trump responds to the Iran denying his statements of productive discussions to end the war. He said he hopes the U.S. and Iran will meet soon to settle this. He plans to get together with Iran via phone call. Iran would like to make a deal. We would like a deal too. The U.S. has talked to Iran's top respected leader. We want to see no nuclear weapon for Iran. Buckle up for another volatile week ahead. It's going to be a spicy one. Crypto Spaces said, the robots will force us to sleep with socks on, the horror. Right. I just mopped the floor. Please put your socks on before you go to bed. Disgusting. These humans are so gross. It's like on your computer talking to its other friends. Like it wouldn't have Wi-Fi. Um, the S&P 500 extends gains to plus 150 points on the day, rising 2.3%, adding 1.2 trillion in market cap. Markets are markets are beginning to price in an end to the Iran war. Let's go. Trump says his envoys, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, have spoken with senior Iranian official with potential deal terms emerging. President Trump on potential deal terms. Iran committed not to pursue nuclear weapons to enrich uranium and to hand over its existing stockpiles. They agreed to be low-key on the missiles. I don't know what that means, but that's hilarious. Also agreed to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. If they carry through with that, it will end the conflict. They want to make a deal. We want to make a deal too. If this happens, it is a great start for Iran to build itself back, Trump said. The U.S. notified Israel on Monday about the peace talks with Iran. We await comment from Iran. We firmly believe there are ongoing U.S.-Iran peace talks right now. Why? Because we have seen this exact sequence of events multiple times in previous deals negotiated by President Trump. 2025 China trade deal. Trump said, 90-day tariff pause, 10-year yield, 4.45%. Similar about China, just like Iran did. Oh, yeah, and China denied it. China was interested in a trade deal. China said there were absolutely no negotiations. 3 weeks later, the U.S. and China announced their first trade deal, reducing tariffs to a 30% baseline. We believe a similar situation is happening right now with Iran behind closed doors, as Iran's war strategy has become to play the long game and pressure the U.S.-Israel through capital and energy markets. Iran does not want to lose leverage and allow markets to normalize until a definitive deal has been solidified. This is the exact same form of leverage that China had in April 2025 negotiations, which they initially denied as the 10-year note yield broke above 4.5. U.S. equity markets collapsed. We believe Trump is following the same playbook right now. That said, volatility will persist until there is a clear agreement in place, and broader market normalization after this historic shock will take months. Pattern-based trading has become incredibly profitable over the last 12 months, and we continue to update our models as a result. Bookmark this post. Keep following the patterns every single time. Conflict playbook. This a sizable portion of alpha that we have generated at Kobe Escalator since January 25th has come from systematic pattern recognition. This is why our tariff playbook and conflict playbook have delivered solid returns for many. We continue to update our models accordingly. I'm going to repost that later with a quote. I'm going to say something about it because that is true. Is this the best time trade of 2026? At 6:50 a.m. Eastern Time today, $1.5 billion in notional value worth of S&P 500 futures contracts were bought. This trade was so large, it sent the entire index up 0.3% higher that minute. Then, 14 minutes later, at 7:04 a.m. Eastern Time, President Trump announced productive discussions with Iran were underway. By 7:10 a.m. Eastern Time, the S&P 500 had added $2 trillion in market cap. That's 1.5 billion position gained, 60 million in minutes. Absolutely incredible. What a legend. U.S. officials say that Iran has placed at least 12 mines in the Strait of Hormuz as President Trump claims peace talks are underway per CBS. Turkey has been talking to Iranian officials and President Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, in an attempt to secure a brief ceasefire for peace deal negotiations. Very cool. All right, Trueflation posted, real-time consumer inflation keeps climbing due to high prices of gasoline and shipping constraints. U.S. CPI today, according to Trueflation specifically, is 1.73% year over year. U.S. core CPI, according to Trueflation, was 1.36% year over year. Gas is making everything go up. Market sentiment worsens as the crypto fear and greed index falls to 8, saying they're staying in extreme fear. It is pretty fearful. Let's go check out really quick. The coin market cap, fear and greed, is at 33. Yesterday it was at 32. We are slightly less afraid today than we were yesterday, according to coin market cap. However, CoinGlass, we are at a 10. I think we are a little bit less afraid than we were yesterday on CoinGlass as well, but it's still an extreme fear on CoinGlass specifically. And then the stock market is at 16, which is also still an extreme fear. Top 10 looks relatively the same with Hyperliquid at number 10, Doge at 9, Tron at 8, Solana at 7, USDC at 6, BNB at 5, XRP at 4, Tether at 3, ETH and Bitcoin at 2 and 1. If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to be a degenerate gambler, sign up for Calcia using my link in the description. Deposit and trade with $25 or more, and we'll both receive $25 in non-withdrawable site credit. It is a gambling website, though, so treat it as such. I'm not a financial advisor as well, so don't take anything that I say as financial advice. Let's continue the TLDR news segment. Alert, $103 million liquidated across crypto in 4 hours, mostly tied to metals longs exposure. That's crazy. Bitcoin monthly returns under pressure. Can March break the trend or confirm a 6-month losing run? I think that 6 is the longest run so far. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So that would be tied with the record if we did get a red month this month as well. Swedish Bitcoin treasury company H100 Group set to triple its Bitcoin stack with a 2,450 Bitcoin purchase plan. That's freaking epic. 13 hours ago, Trump orders 5-day pause on strikes in Iran after productive talks. $269 million of shorts wrecked in 60 minutes. Strategy bought 1,031 Bitcoin for $75.3 million. They now hold 762,099 Bitcoin. That's crazy. Flight Fan said, don't you find it funny that crypto people keep saying if war stops, crypto will do better? I remember us talking the days and weeks and months before the war started. LMFAO. Yeah, let's go back to that. Oh, tanking. Yeah, right. Gold climbs back above 4,400 after a rebound. Peter Schiff compares today's gold correction to 2008, suggesting a potential surge toward 11,400 in 3 years. Imagine $11,400 gold. That'd be crazy. 88 said, would he buy at 74 cash? Who? Sailor? Probably. Oh, his average? Probably. His average, probably. Yeah, last night, today, probably 70. But his average, I think, is around 74, yeah. Power market shows a 55% chance of a $2 trillion plus SpaceX IPO following the TerraFab announcement. Sailor Strategy plans to raise $42 billion with new STRC and MSTR ATM programs, probably nothing. Power market rolls out a new market integrity rules across the U.S. exchange and DeFi platforms. No, his last buy. I'm assuming, so they said that he bought, oh yeah, it says 75.3 million. Let's do the math here then. 75 million, 300,000 divided by 1,031. He bought at 73K. Jeez. That's a lot. Why does he overpay? What is that spread? What did he buy it on Voyager? The defunct exchange? That's crazy. Goldman Sachs has raised the probability of a U.S. recession to 30%. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says tokenization could transform finance in a way comparable to the internet's impact in the 1990s. Telegram has fully repaid its 5-year bonds and reached profitability in 2024, with its latest bond issuance oversubscribed. I'm assuming that we're just now learning about this, or that's a typo. One of the two. I'm not sure. I don't know why we would learn about this 2 years later, but good for them. I'm glad they've been profitable for 2 years. Slippage. Bitmine now holds 4.66 million ETH and $11 billion in total crypto and cash assets. Freaking epic. Tom Lee has gorgeous hair. He always buys at high OTC. Yeah, that's nuts. Bitcoin is outperforming both gold and the S&P 500 since the start of the U.S.-Iran conflict per river. Weird. Somebody call Peter Schiff. Today, Bitcoin taker buy volume surged to 425 million in a single minute. That's a lot. BlackRock Larry Fink says AI could significantly widen the gap between rich and poor. SWI staking is now live on Revolut, allowing users to stake SWI directly within the app. Very cool. I've heard a lot about Revolut. Andy Schechtman, president and owner of Miles Franklin Precious Metals, says Bitcoin and gold investors have complementary goals and that portfolios are stronger holding both assets. So don't be a tribalistic weenie and just diversify, bro. It's okay. This is cracked me up earlier. Told entire bloodline to buy gold and short crypto when the war started, Market does the exact opposite. Breaking. Trump says he wants joint control of Iran's oil and Strait of Hormuz with the Ayatollah. Me and the Ayatollah, whoever the next Ayatollah is, will control the Strait of Hormuz, and there will also be a very serious form of regime change. Dang. Bull Theory also posted. This is a long one, so bear with me. Very long one. What if the entire gold and silver jump was insiders front-running retail? There was no war, no crisis, but gold was up 65% anyway. Here's the full story. Central banks started buying gold like never before. China, Russia, India, Poland buying for 3 straight years, more than 3,000 tons bought between 2022 and 2025, double their historical pace. This started the moment the U.S. froze Russia's dollar reserves in 2022. Every country on earth got the same message that day. Dollar reserves can be seized overnight. Gold cannot. Yes, it can. But central banks weren't the only ones buying. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, and Citi were all quietly accumulating gold and simultaneously publishing research reports telling you to buy. JP Morgan said gold will hit 6,300. Morgan Stanley said bull case 5,700. They were buying at 2K, writing reports at 4,000 and telling retail to buy at 5K. This is what I talk about whenever people are like, oh my gosh, where's the money going to come from? When they want you to buy, you will buy. That's how it works. Whether or not they're manipulating you subconsciously, they're putting signs up all over the city. You just see it all, and you're like, oh my, I should buy some gold. That's how it works, man. They're clever. They've been doing this for hundreds of years. They know a lot more than we think they know. Unlike central banks, who buy gold to hold forever, institutions buy gold to sell. Central banks hold gold as a reserve asset. Institutions hold gold as a trade. From 22 to 26, gold pumped almost 250% and added 28 trillion to its market cap. Then retail joined late when gold went vertical in January 2026. Regular investors saw the numbers. ETF inflows hit all-time records. Everyone piling in right as the people who bought at 1,800 needed an exit. Then the war started. U.S. and Israel struck Iran on February 28th. Oil supply disrupted. Strait of Hormuz threatened. Every reason for gold to explode was on the table. Retail thought this was the moment, but since the war started, gold is down 25%. Why did gold fall during a war? Because institutions needed an exit, and the war gave them the perfect cover. Oil spiked, inflation fears, rates stay high, gold loses its appeal, stop losses triggered, margin calls hit, algorithms accelerated the dump. The retail buyer became the exit liquidity in simple terms. Central banks built the floor, institutions built the hype, retail provided the exit, the war pulled the trigger. Insiders loaded up at $1,800, wrote reports at 4K, sold to retail at $5,500. Gold dumped below 4,200 today. The oldest trade in finance played perfectly. That is pretty much what happened. Pretty crazy. MSB Intel posted oil drops below $89. WTI falls under 90 as back channel diplomacy emerges. Axios reports Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan are passing messages between the U.S. and Iran. Markets reacting fast. War risk premium fading. MSB Intel also posted Trump says Iran initiated contact. They called. I didn't call. Signals Strait of Hormuz could reopen very soon if things work. Adds Iran has agreed to no nuclear weapons. But here's the twist. Iran denies any talks. Regardless, over $900 billion was added to the U.S. stock market at the open, and $313 million in crypto shorts were liquidated in just 4 hours. Dang. 88 Metals said gold useless. Just do opposite what they say and you're good. HQZ said, sup fellows. 88 said, we talked about retail being exit liquidity all the time here, eh? We do. And it's true, dude. Every time I see anything, they're like, retail's buying this at record numbers. I'm like, well, that's going to go down. Every time, man. Like, I'm proud of retail for getting involved in finance, but they're paying their tuition for sure. Just buying other people's bags, whether it's the stock market, the metals market, bond market, whatever you call it. But that's the cost of doing business, man. I lost so much money learning about finance. Unfortunately, that's the way it's got to be. Which is why I crack up whenever people are like, oh, did you know that this is a Ponzi? I'm like, did you know that everything's a Ponzi? How do you literally do or earn anything by somebody else paying more for it? That's just the way that it is, man. It's free. It is free for me to go dig a ditch, plant some plants, build a house, It is free for me to want to do that and to go do that for myself. But if somebody else wants me to do it, I charge them. That is a Ponzi. Somebody's going to pay more for it later. That's how that works. Look at inflation. Ash Crypto posted, this is absolutely crazy. Bitcoin is up 34% against gold since the US-Iran war started 23 days ago. Bitcoin is the new safe haven asset. That's pretty epic, actually. Merlin the Trader posted, the Bitcoin reload zone has appeared twice in this cycle. First reload 2022, 16 to 25K. Those who bought, 400% returns. Second reload 2026, 50 to 65K. Same channel, same setup right now. Above 70K, reload complete, move begins. Below 50K, channel bottom being tested. Different price, same opportunity, most will miss it again. Yeah. 88 said, hey HQZ, well, you got to buy the shovel, but I get it. 88 said, well, you got to buy the shovel. Or no, I read that already. HQZ said, I wonder if Peter Schiff took profits. Right. No, he's calling for 11,000 or something now. Michael Saylor said, Bitcoin will surge to $180,000, crash to $140,000, and people will freak out again. He's right. He is actually right. That is 100% what will happen. Merlin the Trader posted, the Bitcoin versus gold ratio is sending its most powerful signal. Oversold RSI on the weekly, fourth time ever. Previous three, Bitcoin massively outperformed gold after. 10,644%, 1,196%, 258%, often this exact same signal. Hold 68K, ratio reversal begins, lose it. One more oversold week first. Gold is at all-time high. Bitcoin is about to remind everyone why it exists. It dies every time, man. Crypto Fergani posted, believe me or not, ETH will go parabolic, and when it does, that's a green light for our altcoins. ETH strength equals liquidity rotation, and alts hold strong. Joe Wedson, I don't know how to say his first name, posted, any signs of strength in Bitcoin may be questionable. Meanwhile, many altcoins may show no reaction at all. There are still a few months of bear market ahead, in my view. That's what the data is showing. Follow the alpha. Bar chart. We got some good insight from bar chart every day. U.S. dollar declines since the 1913 creation of the Federal Reserve. Number go down. Let's see. What $1 buys 30 Hershey chocolate bars? Purchasing power of $1. 10 rolls of toilet paper for $15.14. $20 got you 10 bottles of beer. $15 got you 20 bottles of Coke. $10 got you 10 bags of pretzels. $8.35, one drive-in movie ticket. 17 oranges for $6.39 in 1970. Between 1980 and 1990, $2.28 for 2 boxes of crayons. $1.61 for 4 grapefruits. Looks like 1999. $1.20 for 2 lemons. $1 for 1 McDonald's coffee in 2020. I don't think that's accurate. I remember paying way more for that. But yeah, that's what you get, man. That's what you get. Crazy, crazy. Breaking. South Korean stock market took a big dump today. 88 said that doesn't take into account shrinkflation either, JJ. Yeah, no, definitely. These are bad examples too. 30 Hershey chocolate bars. Just show me $1 every time. Anything that you can get for $1. Because I know in freaking 1910 or whatever, you could get a ton of stuff for $1. I don't know why they're showing me the cost of 30 chocolate bars is $26.14. CBOE volatility index soars to 30. It's getting volatile out there. S&P 500 God candle, pretty epic. Gold enters bear market following more than 20% from its all-time high. We got some coin confessions. Sometimes I cry at night. Last year I made $600,000 hacking people's Telegram accounts with a logger. Now that money has slowed down due to me lacking motivation. I don't know what to do anymore. Sometimes I cry at night, not because of the money that I've lost, but because I genuinely feel bad for the people I scammed. And the worst part is that I've lost the feeling for money. $10,000 is nothing to me, which is genuinely bad. I'm 16 now and might be better off than 95% of kids my age, but sometimes I just wish I had a normal life. Yeah. Karma. I believe in karma. That's all I'm going to say about that. There's a chef I know. This one sucks. This one's so bad. There's a chef I know who lost all his money in Luna. That day he pissed into a big pot of soup and served it to the customers as retribution. That sucks so bad. 88 said fake post. I was wondering that too, but at the same time, you know, I don't really care. I'm sure there's somebody that has had something like this happen to them. The lack of sympathy is really weird, though. They're like, I cry at night because I think I'm supposed to feel bad. In 2025, I made my first 10K from airdrops. I then lost 80% of it on prediction markets after deciding just to make some volume on it. I am in regret. This one's great. Do not quit. I repeat, do not quit, from I Am the Algo. Mark Minervini posted in 2018, after 6 initial years, 1983 to 1989, of making virtually no progress in the stock market, I then made more in a single week than I dreamed of making in a year. I experienced what the English poet Robert Browning meant when he wrote, "A minute's success pays the failure of years." This is great. Patience, persistence, and consistency. 100%. Oh, we got a couple more things loaded in. We were at Ash Crypto right here. Ash Crypto posted, breaking, Iran says the U.S. lifts all the sanctions against them and pay the war damages. The war will continue. Oh, until the U.S. lifts all that. At the same time, 3,000 plus U.S. Marines are set to arrive in the Middle East on Friday, per the Wall Street Journal report. U.S. officials also said that Iran placed at least 12 mines in the Strait of Hormuz. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Kobe, see you later. Breaking. President Trump threatens to revoke the European Union's favorable access to U.S. LNG shipments if they do not implement their trade deal with the U.S. Ooh. The details include the U.S.-EU trade deal reached in 2025 lowered tariffs to 15% on most EU exports, but EU ratification has been delayed. The EU is set to vote on the pact on Thursday, which includes an agreement for the EU to buy $750 billion worth of U.S. energy by 2028. Energy purchases included LNG, oil, and civil nuclear technologies. The threat comes at the time where EU LNG prices have surged amid the Strait of Hormuz closure. Trade tensions seem to be mounting in the background. We're going to go from the war to another trade situation immediately, piggybacking off the other. This is a PSA for anyone involved in Siren. I know that it had a pretty decent pump. Let's actually go. I don't even think I can look here. I think I got to go to Deck Screener. Exercise caution always with coins like this. It's down 32.74% today. Oh no, it's dumping right now. Oh, geez. Are these all the same? No, these are all different wallets. Okay. That's crazy. So this was published. This is on the 4-hour candle too. This just opened like an hour and a half ago. Dang. Alert. Bubble Maps alleges recent price action on Siren due to insider controlling 1.3 billion. One cluster of 200 plus wallets was freshly funded via PancakeSwap and purchased Siren in 2 batches in June and February 2025. The tokens were dispersed to 47 wallets. This cluster now controls 47% of the supply, worth $1.3 billion. Yeah, the market cap. What? Oh, it dropped that much? Whoa, that's crazy. That's freaking crazy, bro. I mean, you could tell right here, actually, someone sold a big chunk. That's insane. So PSA, make sure you guys always look at the holder count and try to verify as much as possible who holds what. DB Crypto posted 18 million total daily active addresses across dozens of layer 1s. Divide that by 3 to 5x for actual users. To say we are early is an understatement. 88 said couldn't cash it out though, right? It depends on what the market cap got up to. If they held 50% of the supply, if the liquidity pool is over 50%, then yes, absolutely they could cash it out. But majority of the time, when something like that happens, like, I don't think the math lines up. It's like 10% liquidity pool, so they probably would have gotten 10% of what they had. Still, a couple $100 billion is crazy. But they would have one-clipped it all the way to zero. Breaking. NVIDIA CEO announces we have achieved AGI. Let's actually... What is AGI? AGI is artificial general intelligence, refers to AI system designed to perform any intellectual task at a human equivalent level. Unlike specialized AI, AGI can generalize knowledge across diverse areas such as coding, reasoning, and creativity. It is widely considered the next major step in AI development, aiming for human-like adaptability. That's pretty epic. This is unprecedented. Short positions in Brent crude oil futures by producers, merchants, processors, and commercial users are up to a record 193 billion. These are the companies that physically produce, refine, trade, consume oil from major producers and refineries to shipping firms and industrial users. Short positions have doubled since the start of the year. By comparison, the 2022 energy crisis peak was 155 billion. By selling futures contracts at today's prices, producers are agreeing to sell their future oil at $100+ per barrel, even if the market price falls by the time they actually pump it. This guarantees their revenue regardless of where price goes next, protecting their margins when prices normalize. Oil producers are seeing unprecedented profitability. 88 said, great, more dumb people, just in AGI form, right? Apollo. So I read a post earlier. It was like, imagine how stupid everybody is, and imagine that they all have LLMs right now telling them that's a great idea. Exactly. Yes. Everyone just has their own personal yes man now. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, this is dropping on stream. Down 36.3% as we speak. Whew, my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy. What's up with the random multi-$1,000 buys, dude? Insane. Oh, 4K? Dude, that guy's about to lose 4K. All right. Breaking Apollo has capped redemptions. This is 3 hours ago, so this is a big deal. Apollo has capped redemptions from one of its largest private credit funds after today's withdrawal requests exceeded 11% of outstanding shares. Cracks in the private credit markets seem to be spreading. This is spooky. This should have you a little bit spooked. Breaking traders placed $580 million worth of oil trades 15 minutes prior to President Trump's post about potential peace deal in Iran this morning. Details include 6,200 Brent and WTI futures contracts were traded between 6:49 a.m. Eastern Time and 6:50 a.m. Eastern Time today. 1.5 billion in notional value worth of S&P 500 futures were traded at the exact same time. It is not known whether one entity or several entities were behind these trades. These trades likely generated over $100 million of profit in about 20 minutes. That's crazy. 88 said it's crazy people are still buying it. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of people buying it too. Whoa, that's a big wall of green. What is going on? Yeah, I would not touch this. Maybe it goes, man. Maybe it goes. I had a similar situation with GOAT, actually. I remember looking at GOAT at, I think, 50 million. I was like, this is a rug. And it went up to 500 million like a week later. That made me feel pretty stupid. So maybe the guy holding the wallet or the wallets is not a rugger. You never know, man. Okay. Do we go through this whole thing? Yeah, that's crazy. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang says we have achieved AGI. Very cool. Go check this out if you're interested. I believe is that Lex Friedman? I don't know. Go check it out. Michael, hedge fund manager, this cracked me up. I've been analyzing the stock market for 50 years. I manage billions of dollars, and I'm an expert in macroeconomics. Here's exactly what will happen from here with the Iran situation. I have no effing idea. This was pretty epic, because everyone always posted, they're like, follow me today so you don't miss the next $1 million move. And this guy was just like, I don't know what the heck is going on. Respect. All right, last but not least, the Magnificent Seven stocks are decoupling from the rest of the market. The 100-day correlation between the Magnificent Seven index and the S&P 500 equal weight index is down to minus 0.27, the most negative reading since June 2023. This means big tech and the average stock in the market are moving in opposite directions. Since 2019, the only other time this correlation was more negative was Q1 and Q2 2023, when AI euphoria sent tech stocks surging 45%, while the S&P 500 rose just 7%. This dynamic has now reversed as the Magnificent Seven has significantly underperformed the average stock over the last 3 months. Magnificent Seven stocks have entered another new era. Pretty cool. Let's go check the Kobe later and make sure that there's no new updates since I last checked. There are 2 new updates. Institutional investors are betting on higher volatility. Net VIX futures positions among asset managers up 18 million, the highest since November. In other words, asset managers are the most hedged against market volatility in months. Is another surge in volatility already priced in? Probably. Japan's 10-year government bond yield has surged to 2.3%, near the highest since 1999. This exceeds the 2008 financial crisis peak by 30 basis points. Furthermore, the 5-year yield jumped to 1.72%, just a few basis points away from its all-time high. This comes as rising oil prices and escalation in the Middle East are fueling inflation fears among investors. The sell-off also follows 3 consecutive weeks of losses in U.S. Treasuries. Meanwhile, USD JPY currency pairs approaching the 160 level that triggered multiple Japanese Ministry of Finance interventions in 2024. As a result, Japanese authorities warned on Monday they are fully prepared to take action on currency moves. Asia is facing an energy crisis. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The TLDR news segment of the day is complete. 88 Metals said, bookmark this. It's crazy people are still buying it. Well, imagine if it's the same guy selling and buying back a little less each time, rinse, repeat. Oh, 100%. See, the problem with that is, though, if he was going to do that, he should program a bot to make it not allow this monstrosity downward candle to happen. Is this listed anywhere? Because I would love to have opened a short on it. I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, man, I should short this. But I don't know if it's listed on any exchange that allows that. Whoa, it's number 51 still? That's crazy. Yeah, this thing's coming down, man. Oh, it's on Gate, KuCoin, MXC. You could have shorted it. I bet you MXC has futures markets on it. Dang. Our-Bit? Oh, I have Our-Bit. BitUnix? Oh, shut the F up. Oh, I missed my opportunity. I could have shorted the whole thing. That sucks. Dang it. Well, you can't win them all. That's pretty epic, though. If you guys want to short stuff like that, check in the description. We do have a link, referral link for BitUnix. I don't know what the benefit is if you sign up for it, but we'll both receive something when you sign up and deposit, allegedly. Not financial advice. 56% of you guys picked Keanu Reeves. I asked you guys, out of these options, which celebrity would you trade lives with? You have to trade with someone. 56% said Keanu Reeves. 33% said Taylor Swift. And 11% said Nicolas Cage. Nobody said Gordon Ramsay. I kind of feel bad. Nobody wants to live Gordon Ramsay's life. That's really sad. Bitcoin down 0.7%, $70,410.60. Gold 43.30, and dumping. Silver down 3.11%, $66.97. Also dumping. Nasdaq futures down. It's a weird, weird market. We are in the midst of a very, very strange time. Unprecedented, if you will. $1.50 on Siren. Jeez. You said Gordo up on that one? Tom Stockscout said, overnight, giving back a good amount of today's gains. Oh, we knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. My question is it too late to short Siren? And should I go look? Let me see. Let me just see if that's even offered on BitUnix. Oh, shoot. It is? Dang it. Oh. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Why not? All right. I'm going to go. I'm just doing a 4X short. And I'm doing my full stack, which is not a lot of money. Oh, what? I can't do it. That's sad. Nope. Yeah, I can't do it. Well, that sucks. There's a minimum. They have a minimum market order, and I don't have enough money in my account. I'm in, JJ. I will toss some to short it with you. I gotta send money. It's gonna take forever for the stupid money to show up in my damn account. Unless it goes down far enough. It says 80 Siren. Yeah, no, they want too much money. I'm not throwing in $150 to short this. Unfortunately, they got a pretty good cap on it. Bastards. All right. Well, we'll get the next one. We'll get the next one. Pickerick said, oh, Jay Shear said, yo, sup, family? What's going on, Jay Shear 2.0? Pickerick said, Taylor Swift wouldn't be too bad. Hey, Swifties, I forgot my wallet at home. Can you all send me like $4 a piece? Probably about 7 million of you would do, right? $1.36. Dang, dude, this thing's crashing. I'm so sad I couldn't short it. All right. What are we thinking, man? I'm so curious about gold and silver. Gold and silver is the most interesting thing to me, I think. Because Bitcoin is already down so dang much, you know. But gold and silver, I never expected gold and silver to catch up to Bitcoin's downside. Never would have guessed that. Idiot said, JJ, next time you got a short play, count me in. All right, we'll do. I can't believe I missed this one, though, dude. I can't believe I missed it. I was thinking about it before the stream. I was like, I should short that coin. Because I saw the stupid post on X. SP and NAS down after hours. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're probably going to retrace this entire move before the end of the week. And then at the end of the week, they're going to be like, we made a deal. Unless bonds, let me see. US 10-year. 10-year bond. Okay. It's getting right back up there. Let's be real, it's only $150. Yeah, but I have to. It's gonna take forever for me to get it there, and then I'm gonna place the bet, and I'm gonna get liquidated. That's $150. You know, there's a reason I don't have $150 on the platform already. Pickerick said, "When am I waiting for? For who? For what?" Man, that bond is zippy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We need another one of these, man. What happened in February? The trade deal BS? The fake trade deal junk? Let's actually, I want to ask Grok that because I'm curious. I don't remember. I'm going to go with cheapo, though. Fast? Yeah, let's go with fast. That's fine. What happened in February 2026 that resulted in the 10-year US 10-year bond yield to drop? Was it tariffs? Oh, it was the tariff ruling. I think you're right. I think the tariff ruling was at the beginning of February. 30 basis points over the month, blah, blah, blah. Key drivers behind AI-related fears and equity rotation. Weak or mixed economic data signaling slowdown risks, stagflation signals from inflation data, geopolitical tensions, broader risk-off sentiment, cooling headline inflation. No, apparently it had nothing to do with it. Carry trade and tariffs? Not according to Grok. Several interconnected factors drove the drop, reflecting a classic flight to safety dynamic amid equity, market volatility, and economic uncertainty. What? Retail sales, Q4 GDP, stagflation, geopolitical tensions. Okay, maybe this is the Supreme Court tariffs. That's where it is. Announcement plus rising Middle East tensions. Interesting. So how come rising Middle East tensions right now are resulting in upside on the 10-year? Huh? Risk It 101 said carry trade and tariffs. Japan carry trade too. Pickerick said nothing. I was waiting to be told to come back in October. Oh. 88 said you must be using the AGI version of Grok A, right? Yeah, the one that's like, oh, I'm just human. I'm only human. I just whacked my desk with my elbow, dude. Gourmet said, I feel like Asian markets are different news agendas that we are getting in the U.S. Oh, probably. See, I think the big difference is Asian market is very reliant on Middle Eastern oil. The US market is not. So there's like this weird dynamic at play where we're kind of gonna control their oil, their energy, which is weird. I don't know if that's ever been a thing. And I don't remember who I was watching or listening to. Somebody was talking about how the United States outsourced all of our jobs. Like, we don't manufacture anything anymore. And if they're going to abandon our dollar, then we're not going to have anything. So I think all of this, if you look at it from a broader perspective, this is tinfoil. It's been a while since we've gone tinfoil. This is a tinfoil moment. If you look at it from a broader perspective, we need something to sell. If we're not going to have products and they're abandoning the petrodollar, we're on ramping in the cryptocurrency world, which is great, but that seems, in my opinion, in the tinfoil scenario, like a back burner plan. What happens when we control all of the energy and all of the artificial intelligence and all of the chips? Regardless of whether or not they're manufactured in the United States, if we control them, then we're a lot safer than we are when we don't control them. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a conspiracy theory. Maybe it's what's actually happening. Maybe I have no idea because I'm not a politician. But we'll see what happens, man. All right. 438. I don't know, man. Did we get a tweet from the president? Let me go check Financial Juice, see if there's anything new. Nothing new from Kobayashi letter. South Korean energy minister 5 minutes ago said plan to ask top 50 business users of oil to reduce consumptions, to reduce dependence on liquefied natural gas in the longer term by raising renewable energy supply, consider passenger vehicle restrictions for general public, restart 5 nuclear power plants currently in maintenance by May. I feel like we need more nuclear power. I really do. I want more nuclear power, and I think solar. I think we need more solar. Brisket 101 said we sell military weapons, equipment, and protection. That's fair. 88 said bar and foil moment. Oh, I forgot about the bar. Pickerick said, so JJ, how do bonds indicate what's coming next? I feel like there is a correlation but can't pinpoint it. Let's actually have Grok explain it to us. Basically, the U.S. cannot afford a 4.5-5% bond yield. Why do bond markets indicate what is going to happen next in the greater market? Let's see if we can get a straight answer. Kobayashi letter kind of explained the whole thing very nicely. Let me go to their post. Right here. When was this? 4:28 a.m. this morning. The bond market is now more broken than the energy market situation as seen in April 2025. President Trump will have to intervene very soon. So, bond market was approaching 4.5% in April 2025. Suddenly, there was a 90-day pause on tariffs on China. And then this time around, the bond market's approaching 4.5% again. And Trump is like, oh, we're negotiating. We're in the middle of making a deal. But maybe Grok can define it a little bit better. I think it's just essentially us not really being able to pay 5%. It's crazy. Mortgage rates are high in the USA. That too. The left will use this to push renewables. I see. I'm 50-50 on wind. I feel like wind is too unreliable. Solar's decent. I've seen solar in the field. We have solar at our farm, and it's great. But it's not a house. You know what I mean? And then on the other side, I see all of these people with their living out of their van, like these cool what are they called? The van life people on YouTube. And they have a couple of solar panels on their roof, and they literally live their whole life every single day. What I want to know, is there ever a day where, oh no, it's been a little bit cloudy all week, so I have no electricity suddenly? Because that would suck. That's something I don't want to experience ever. That sounds like it's devastating. So, I don't know. I feel like we've been spoiled. with electricity. So nuclear is the way. I agree 100%. Nuclear is the way. Dang, look at this thing's going to freaking zero. What the hell? What the heck? We should have shorted, man. Oh, what a missed opportunity. I'm so butthurt about it. It's not 55%. Is it going to go down another 50? Wow. Watch it spike right back up, dude. That's crazy. It's 80 bucks now. We would be making bank. Should I do it? I mean, I can do it. It's just, like I said, I gotta wait. Time to short coin? That I don't know, man. Where's coin at? I don't know. 200 bucks? Seems to be stabilizing. I don't know. So it'll take forever to get to the exchange. Yeah, that's the problem. Are we doing it? All right, I'm gonna keep this up. I'm gonna send some money. Let's see if we can hit it. Let's see if we can hit it. Is this dumb? It's already down so much, but is it like straight up? If it's a rug, then we'll make bank. But if it goes right back up, then we're kind of screwing ourselves. I don't know, man. I don't know. Rand said Coinbase Exchange sold their holdings of what? Siren? What do you mean? Of coin? It's only down 60%. It's got another 40 to go if it's a rug. Ah, that was an evil laugh. I didn't mean for it to be, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? This is crazy. It's back below $1. Bitcoin and ETH Ray about to send. It went down how much in the last 15 minutes? We were shorting it 35% ago. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's at 94 cents right now. Like I said, it's got 35% to go. it's losing a percent like every minute, man. All right, let's see. Can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it? Probably not. Is this degenerate gambling? Absolutely. It's been a while since I've done this, though. Been a long time, man. This is why my account's dried up, dude. All right, let's see if I can get it. Money's on its way. Let's see how long that takes. All right. Bam. Okay. Ryan said I'd buy that for $1, Jiff. Pick Rick said I would long that. Now, like 60% of it's owned by the same guy. You guys are crazy. I would long that. Get out. Get out. Maybe it goes up though. Maybe it does. Like I said, it could pop back up. The guy that owns the majority of the percent could just be screwing everybody. Look at this monster though. That's scary. Affirm in same place also. 2021 lows. 88 said we could have tossed $1,000 at it and made some lunch monies. 99.02. Maybe it is long. I don't know. I do feel stupid for not taking that short. I definitely feel stupid for not taking that short. All right, bond markets, especially government bonds like U.S. Treasuries. Okay. Summarize in one paragraph what you just said. Yeah, give it to me small. 93.53. I don't know, man. I don't know. Pickerick said I would long it 45% up on that fat red candle. You think so? It's down to 64% now. This thing's going down. 88 said we need to keep the exchange loaded for times like these, sir. Okay, that's fair. I'm I'm a little broke at the moment. 90.27. It is going down. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. See, this is what sucks is that it's so far down now. And then the frickin' exchange takes forever to receive my deposit. 90.80. There's people dropping a couple grand on this thing still. That's crazy. Go home. Stop. Stop this now. Wait a minute. This guy's just buying and selling. Is this one of those stupid wallets? See, it's so weirdly manipulated. 89 again. 89. All right. $71.92 approximately. 85. Whoa. Where's my damn money? I need to open the short. This is stupid. The FOMO short stream that got JJ liquidated on an actual scam somehow. What am I looking at here? Where's my... Still haven't received my deposit? Oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. I don't know what to do. Risket said, when will we get midnight airdrop? You haven't received it yet? I think the deadline came and went. I think the deadline came and went. I don't think you're getting it now. I could be wrong. But I think you had to claim it. Unless you're on a centralized exchange. 88 Metals Mania said, from making 10K to losing $80 from exchange lag, right? JJ's heart beating fast. I mean, it's actually not. Because I don't have my freaking deposit yet. I'm just sitting here like an idiot. Brisket said, damn, I got scammed. I mean, I'm not going to say yes because I don't want to get sued, but I'm not a big fan of midnight. Midnight, more like good night. What do you guys think? Are we going to retrace this whole move? 86? Is that the lowest it's been so far? Has my deposit arrived yet? Still nothing. Am I hallucinating? This is taking forever. Oh my gosh. I thought this crypto shit was supposed to be fast. Oh! Okay, I got the alert that it was sent. Thank you, Coinbase. Only took 25 minutes. Jesus. Did I ever tell you guys? Should I tell you guys the Voyager story? So, I have... This is 2021, 2022. I'm all in on Voyager. Like 100%. All my money's there. Beautiful exchange. Wonderful user interface. It was great. On-ramp was smooth. And all of a sudden, I don't remember what happened. Oh no, I'm sorry, I do. I learned what a spread was, and I realized that they had like a 10% spread in either direction. So as soon as you buy, you're basically down 20% immediately. So I was like, whoa, that immediately pissed me off. So I was like, I'm going to move all my money out of here. I start the transfer. It says 5 to 7 business days. I'm like, well, okay, that's ridiculous, but whatever. Because the whole big thing back then was transaction time. They're like, your transaction's super fast with crypto. And I was like, okay, 5 to 7 business days, whatever. 2 weeks go by. I still have not received my money. So I start freaking out. Customer service, support tickets. And then I see that they're posting all these promotions. They're like, we have a race car on X. And they're getting like 2 or 3 replies. Thousands of views, though. Hundreds of thousands of views. I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of this. So I go full Karen. Like, full Karen on their ass. And I'm like a top 10 reviewer on Google. I don't know if you know this, but I'm like a top 10 reviewer on Google. So I'm going full Karen. I've unleashed the beast on these cute little X posts. And the CEO, verified, this is the real guy, the CEO sent me a DM and asks me for my support ticket number. And I sent it to him, and within 5 minutes, I received my funds. I don't know if the guy came out of pocket for it, but 2 months later, they collapsed completely. So I don't know if I literally dodged a bullet by like a month, 2 months. Crazy, insane, blew my mind. And I still have the DM from the guy on X. I still have the DM from the guy. I don't think it says that he's involved with Voyager at all. He was the CEO though. And I don't think he got in trouble for that. Crazy. Pickle Rick said, I'm getting Luna vibes. Gourmet said, why is getting rugged? Was there negative news or people douchebags? A good percent of the supply, we missed it. I think we missed it. Was held by one guy. Where's the damn thing? Right here. Bubble Maps alleges recent price action on Siren due to insider controlling 1.3 billion. 47% of the supply. Yeah, it's going back up. Son of a bitch. Well, I think we missed it, boys. What a scam. That post player said, by the way, all today was a pump till shorts can be dumped because it's always the weekend they dump it, and it's a 5-day ceasefire, more like by the time and dump it. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, they're going to F it all up come Friday. 100%. 100% that's happening. What are we doing, boys? Are we shorting this thing? Or is that silly and stupid? Because it is coming back down. Are we going to flip-flop every time, whatever direction it's going, we're gonna try to play that exact direction? Should I switch to the 1 minute just to make it more entertaining? Where's my deposit, bro? What's happening? Hello? This is crazy. I got nothing. I still got nothing. Zero. Asia not up yet. Sees like that. Asia type token. Oh, that's... I think they are up. They don't know the news yet. I think they are up. I think they're up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock here. I don't know where the hell my deposit is. Maybe that's why I haven't received my deposit, because Asia's not up. They better send me my damn crypto. What's going on, man? Hello? This is ridiculous. I gotta go to freaking Coinbase, check my transactions. Can I even do that? See more. Transactions, yeah. I swear to God, if this says pending. Now it says sent. This is ridiculous. No, I'm still freaking waiting. This is crazy. I didn't think it was going to take this long. Wow. If they invented instant credit transfers. If they only invented instant... Yeah, I mean, crypto probably would have died. Because that was crypto's biggest thing back then. Dude, it's going down, sir. They don't know the news yet. That pulse said, calling it right now, Friday, Saturday will be so mega red, it's not even funny. Watch Trump's a traitor these days. 88 said, crypto gassed and seamless, I hear. Oh, fast and seamless. Apparently not. I don't know if this is the crypto part. When does the crypto part kick in? Oh my gosh, it's actually not happening. Maybe I sent it to the wrong address or something. That's insanity. No, I've sent it here before. It's ridiculous. It says completed. Help me. I'm just gonna freaking refresh it all damn day. This is ridiculous. I wonder if you know what would be really funny is if it made the siren noise when it started dumping. It's like, is that a bad joke? Wait, let's go to Twitter, see what they're saying on Twitter. Due to recent price action, we're no longer profitable and we can't sustain. Hey? 15 hours ago? What the F is siren? They've been awfully quiet since that post. mean, she does have big anime titties. We do like big anime titties. Okay, let's read what Grok said while we wait for this damn deposit. This ridiculous deposit. Bond markets, particularly U.S. Treasuries, serve as one of the most reliable forward-looking indicators for the broader economy and the stock markets because they are massive in size, highly liquid, and dominated by sophisticated institutional investors who quickly price in expectations for future growth, inflation, and collective forecasts. Inflation and interest rates, unlike stocks, which can be swayed by retail sentiment and short-term hype. Bonds reflect collective forecasts months or years ahead. Rising long-term yields often signal stronger growth or inflation concerns, while falling yields indicate weakening economic confidence or impending slowdowns. The yield curve, especially inversion between short and long-term rates, is particularly powerful, historically predicting recessions with high accuracy by embedding expectations of future rate cuts due to weaker conditions. Treasury yields also act as the risk-free benchmark that influences stock valuations via discount rates, corporate borrowing costs, and credit spreads, tightening financial conditions. Okay, so it's just a reliable forecast. 104. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to short it anymore. I feel like it's going to bounce right back as soon as I open this stupid short. It's taking 18 hours to freaking deposit. It's still not here. I've never seen this before. What is going on? This is actually crazy. I got nothing. I got nothing, man. I got absolutely nothing. Let's go take a look. Did it all just stop? No, there's a bunch of buys. What? People are removing liquidity? Huh. $8.61 worth of liquidity? This is weird. Bit long that shit. I don't know what I can't do anything. I don't have a deposit still. This is crazy. Crypto's not fast at all. What a scam. I'm suing Satoshi Nakamoto. Look at that. Damn, some motherfucker just put 10 grand. Oh, 20 grand. People are crazy. They're going to do it again. This is going to be in the news every day. It's great marketing, honestly. I don't know. Can I search, like, about it? No, $. Latest. Siren, 83%. Jeez. 58%. I guess it depends on what time zone you're in, I suppose. That's freaking crazy. 88 said it used to be weekends, but now, like I say, weekdays also. Okay, hang on. Isn't it supposed to be fast? 88 said, I noticed more people exiting the market at close, especially on weekends, buying back in the following market open. Gourmet said to avoid weekend news. Yeah. Jay Shear said, I too got screwed today. I was trying to send USDT from Coinbase to Antarctic Exchange, and I never received it, despite perfectly putting in a contract address. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this deposit situation. I've never had a deposit take this long before, except for with frickin' Voyager like 6 years ago. This is crazy. I guess when it gets there, I'll just leave it there for the frickin' next trade. That's insane. I've literally never had this happen. Blowing my own mind right now. Big Rick said, so if bonds go up, buy the dip. If bonds go down, hold cash. I think so. Bonds go up, buy the dip because he's gonna crash bonds. Yes, because Trump has to do something to get bonds down because we can't afford high bonds. That's essentially the gist of what we've seen defined. I don't know if holding cash on bond market going down is the right thing, because bond market going down should pump your bags. Boy, I'm glad I longed this with my deposit that didn't take 25 minutes. It's ridiculous. It's still freaking not there. I'm going to change the title of the stream to Waiting for My Deposit. Oh my gosh. Well, no, man. What a weird market. Oh, Pumpy DXY. Hmm? Why is it so zoomed in? Calm down. Hmm. 123 now. Yeah, we could have had that. We could have had that, man. I'm suing I'm suing I'm suing BitUnix now. You're not a gold member, sir. No, there ain't no bullshit memberships for faster deposits. This is insane. They should want to receive my money. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Completely nothing happening at all. There's no way I said to the wrong thing. That thing. This is crazy. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm getting it. I think the money's gone forever. Watch, I'm gonna end the stream and it's gonna show right up. They're rugging us. Crazy, dude. Crazy. I wasn't expecting this to happen on stream. That's actually kind of sick. Look at how much that one sold off, dude. That's crazy. I want to see. Can I go see this actually? Let me see if I can pull it up. Was it Bubble Maps? I should be able to see it right here, don't I? Yeah, Bubble Maps. Gimme, gimme. Hmm. What? 7% of the supply? 3.6 cluster. Okay. I don't understand. This looks completely different from the thing that I saw. Number 2. Who's number 1? Number 1's got to be the liquidity pool then. 7.18%. So did they sell majority already? That's crazy, dude. I think that's what happened. Somebody made bank, dude. Somebody made so much money off that. What the F is a bubble map? So this shows. Let me get my. Hold on. Let me refresh this stupid crap. All right. This shows all of the holders. Still nothing. I might have rugged myself and sent it to the wrong. There's no way though. But I guess maybe it magically happened. This shows all of the holders. Pretty much. Like the top 80 holders. There's 80 wallets here. And apparently they hold, I'm assuming 45% is what that means, maybe? This updated 14 hours ago. Whoa. So number 2 top holder is 7.18% of the supply. This guy is a cluster, which means there's seven wallets here. Holds 3.76. There's another cluster of 7 wallets here as well. 2.96%. Another cluster of 7 wallets here, 2%. And then these smaller ones. 148 million, 8.86% of the supply. 8.86% of the supply, 8.86% of the supply. So yeah, this shows you who the holders are. It's a easier visualization than just this, you know. I don't know what happened with my deposit. Well, I guess I don't know. This is stupid. I'm pissed about the damn deposit. I wanted wanted to make that trade, man. I shouldn't have FOMO deposited. I swear it's gonna show up right after I'm done. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna call it. I'll let you guys know in the damn Discord when this stupid deposit shows up or if I screwed myself. I'm going to do some forensic analysis and see if I actually sent it to the wrong address. But as always, guys, check the Addy. Yeah, I'm going to check it. I'm going to check it when I get off. When the market starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Monday and good night.